Hi, my name is Vincenzo and I lead the account management team here at Hook Agency. One of my primary roles is to ensure that our partners get the best possible experience when working with Hook Agency, not only with the results that we get from our SEO and PPC services, but also with transparent and timely communication. One of the primary ways that we make sure that that happens is through our monthly reporting. And what I'm going to do today is show you a demo of what some of those monthly reports may look like for an average client at Hook Agency. So let's jump in. So we're always going to start our monthly reports by asking you about how business is going in general, not just as it pertains to SEO or PPC performance, although I know you're excited to talk about that. I also want to know how things are going, not only because we're curious and we want to make sure we're having good partnerships, but also because that type of information can definitely influence or help give context to some of the results that we're seeing. Additionally, we work with a lot of different companies around the home service industry, and we learn a lot from the clients that we work with, and we are really big on knowledge sharing. So we'll always ask, hey, how are things going, not just as it pertains to even your marketing efforts, but how's your sales team doing? What kind of things are you winning on lately, or what are some challenges that you're facing? Because like I said, we love to get to know you and see if there's anything we can do to help outside of even just the initial services that we're offering. With that being said, we also always want to ensure that we are in alignment with expectations. At the beginning of our relationship, we set really clear expectations and a really clear timeline to actually go through, hey, here's what you can expect in the next couple of months to a year of results. And we'll look at this timeline to results to actually kind of see where are we at as it pertains to where we started versus where we'd like to go in achieving our ultimate goal, which is getting you a positive return on investment. So we're very clear from the front end on what we'd like to achieve together based on what you've communicated to us. And we always want to check in so that we know, hey, are we on track? Are we off track? And what do we need to be doing to be getting on track if we aren't? Once we start an actual report, after chit-chatting at the beginning, getting to know about you a little bit more, we're going to dive into either PPC or SEO initially. For the sake of this example, we'll take a look through SEO results first, and you're going to notice that all of these results, whether it's from your SEO, from your PPC, your content calendar that you'll be provided, are going to be all in this handy dashboard here that you can access at any time. So what will be on here is a 1,000-foot view of the primary things that we're going to be talking about on the SEO front. The primary three things that we're going to focus on when reporting on SEO, and this will be what's represented on your dashboard, is the leads generated from your organic efforts, your local ranking, and also your traffic. And you can see on this dashboard here, we've got all of those things outlined and a couple of different cool metrics that we'll focus on. At the end of the day, like I said, our objective is to drive qualified leads, which will then result in a higher return on investment with your marketing efforts. So that's the first thing we'll lead with. Now, in initial stages of SEO, or depending on where we're at or your past experience, talking about leads from an organic perspective may take some time to get your SEO off the ground before we really heavily focus, but it is something that we're always going to lead with and check in on at the beginning of each report. We have full lead analysis that we'll get to later on in this report, which I'll show you inside of our call tracking tool, CallRail. As we move through the report, we will put a heavy emphasis on local ranking, as that is one of the earliest signs of success with SEO. So we'll look at local rank and national traffic, or overall traffic coming to your website, as a way to gauge progress. And again, kind of referring back to that progression timeline, we have a couple of benchmarks based on how much traffic is coming to your site, how many engaged visits do you have to your site. Some of the things that you can see on here are good indicators of health and future success in the account. After looking through on the SEO side some of our core kind of KPIs or key performance indicators, what we're going to do is jump over to some tools that we like to utilize to kind of reinforce or add context to the reporting that we're doing. The first tool that we're going to use is called Ahrefs. You may have heard of it. You may have heard of a similar tool called SEMrush. There's lots of different alternatives to this tool. This is one that we happen to use. They all pretty much do the same thing, but Ahrefs is a really good way for us to identify, hey, what is the overall amount of keywords or things on your website that you're ranking for? Why do we care about that? It's a good indicator of how authoritative your website is for a particular topic. Of course, for your business, it's likely going to be home services, whether that be roofing, plumbing, whatever it may be, HVAC. And so what Ahrefs is going to do is allow us to see, you can see I'm looking at a 1 year length of time here and looking at the overall progress that we're making. On the SEO side of things, we're going to focus often on general progression over a longer period of time than we're going to be looking at really tiny fluctuations in ranking or anything like that. Although there may be a time and a place for that, Ahrefs is a good way for us to zoom out and see general progress. Now, where we're really going to actually start to zoom in is through our tool called Local Rank Tracker. This is one of the tools I love talking with clients the most about, because what we get to do is look at individual keywords down to the zip code level, the areas that you care about the most, and see where are we ranking on a local level. This tool is really powerful. You'll have access to this 24/7. What we'll do on reports is take a deep dive and look at general progress that we've been making in the last 30, 60, or 90 days of local rankings. So initially, when we start out our relationship, we're gonna get a good index of where we're starting. And as we build our strategy together, we'll set really clear expectations of what we hope to achieve together in the long run. And then our monthly reports are going to be kind of checking in on that. We want it to be really clear what we're trying to achieve. I never want to show you a dashboard that's going to not make much sense to you and it's just going to look like numbers. That's not important to us. We're not big on marketing speak. We want clear, actionable insights that can let you know that we're either on track or off track and what we're going to do next. So Local Rank Tracker is one of my favorite tools because clients tend to really enjoy seeing those local rankings. We can actually zoom in and look at a live Google results page as if it were from the location that your customers search from to see where you're actually ranking in real time, which is a really good way to see overall SEO progress. So there are 3 different buckets of deliverables that our team's going to be doing on a monthly basis. The first of those buckets is technical SEO. And technical SEO is basically different optimizations or things that we can do on your website to ensure that it's healthy and best equipped to have effective SEO. Those might be things like optimizing old content, doing what's called on-page SEO, adding additional meta titles and descriptions, or anything of that nature to make sure that Google looks at your website and thinks everything is okay. The second bucket of deliverables that we're going to be doing is content, and that's going to be a really big driver of success in your SEO. So we're going to be writing about 8,000 words of content. We make a content calendar at the beginning of our relationship, and every month we review where we're at in that calendar. You get a chance to look at every single blog or location page that we're writing and add in your 2 cents, throw in anything specific that you'd like mentioned, and also review the most recent month of content. And of course, we'll check in on the progress of that content on reports as well. The last section that would be fall into the bucket of deliverables would be link building activity, and that is the effort of basically earning links from other websites to gain authority on your website. And so that's getting into the technical side of SEO, but we would talk in depth on, hey, what links have we earned and overall progress that we've made in site authority. After that, we'd of course make sure to answer any questions that you have. If there's any specific areas of concern that you have on the SEO front, we're of course going to dive into that specifically. We always check in to make sure that the direction that we're going at 6 months into our relationship, 9 months, in different increments is still the direction that your business is going. So if there's any strategic pivots or changes that your business is making, we want to make sure that our team is on top of that from a content and technical perspective on the SEO side of things. The next thing that we'll do, assuming you're doing Google Ads with us as well, is we will pivot over on that same exact dashboard to the PPC section here. And a couple of different things. PPC, we're going to be, of course, much more heavily focused on leads and month-over-month ROI. We're going to take a little bit more of a zoomed in view of the actual leads coming in each day or week or month. And we're going to want a lot of feedback on the quality of those leads and things of that nature. Before we get to that though, we are going to do an account overview. As you can see, it's labeled here. These are just a couple 1,000-foot view metrics of overall Google Ads health, so to speak, and different things that are going on, such as our clicks, our impressions, our overall click-through rate, average costs, so on and so forth. What we're going to do in this section, so that we're not just boring you with data, is draw out anything that might be important or might be indicative of getting more or less leads. We have clients that love to dig into the weeds on Google Ads and want to know every single piece of the strategy. We're happy to do that. More often than not, you care about the leads, and that's what we're going to try and spend the majority of our time on. So this second section here is focusing on the total quantity of phone calls and form submissions that are coming through Google Ads or as a result of Google Ads. We're going to look at our overall conversion rate as a really big health metric, as well as our cost per lead. And as we will see in the next section here, our qualified lead percentage. So we'll also have this in-depth lead dashboard. It's going to take a look at, hey, how many total leads did you get? Of those, how many did you miss versus how many were for sure qualified or set appointments? And then we're going to look at trends as it pertains to changes that we've made in your Google Ads account to see what's working well, what's not working well. We're going to ask for some feedback and then come up with a really clear plan of this next 30 days. And now our goal is, of course, that we're crushing it. We've got tons of set appointments, and we don't really need to, after the first learning period, need to make tons of big changes strategically to your account. We really want to tweak and kind of gently move the account in a slightly better and better position. And so another thing that we'll do to look back on overall progress is look inside of CallRail, like I mentioned, where we can see down to the keyword level every single conversion that's happened. We have a team that is coming into this account every single day and qualifying leads for the entire month. So whenever you log into your CallRail dashboard that you'll have access to, you'll get to see every single lead, the keyword that generated it, if it was from Google Ads, and then the result of that call. Was it a qualified lead from a marketing perspective? Was it unqualified for a number of reasons? Did it result in a set appointment? So that we can really get to, like I said, our initial goal, or our ultimate goal rather, of getting a positive ROI. So we'll look for feedback, especially on the PPC side, to make sure these leads are working well for you. So that's a general overview of what a monthly report at Hook Agency looks like. Of course, on your reports, we're going to take much more time to dive into the data a little bit deeper and answer any questions that you might have about your specific results. Ultimately, what we want is for you to leave the meeting feeling comfortable and confident that you have a marketing partner that's going to help you move the needle and accomplish your business goals. So if that's something that you and your business needs, head over to hookagency.com. We'd love to set up a call and answer any questions that you have.